Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Podcast, where we help you unlock your potential freedom through land investing, real estate investing, and entrepreneurship.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Real Estate Investing Podcast. I'm your host, Ron Apke. For this episode, we are going to be talking about the 3 steps to becoming a $100,000 per month land flipper. And obviously, these steps change from person to person, but with the hundreds of people that have come through our program, these are the 3 most common steps that the most successful people kind of go through while they're going from zero, from not knowing anything in land to getting to 100,000 and really over $100,000 a month. But let's get into it, guys. Number 1, the first step, without a doubt, really in anything as you're getting off the ground, is that learning phase. It's so important. And so many people, I don't want to say people try to skip it, but it's an extremely important phase that some people might try to rush, I think, more so. And what it looks like, honestly, is 1, you're getting a ton of education. You're watching live calls, you're watching modules, you're learning from other people, you're networking. So learning can come from so many different places. So I really look at it as 1, you're learning from recorded modules. 2, you're learning from live calls. 3, you're learning from networking, all that stuff. 4, and this is the most costly one, is you're learning from mistakes. Like, you are taking action, and it doesn't always have to be costly mistakes, honestly, but you are taking action, you're sending mail, you're trying to do deals, and you are learning from that experience. So I think when you're looking at evaluating which one of those, obviously all of them come into play. And I think if you're doing all of those, networking, learning from modules, attending live calls, learning from experience, if you're doing all those, like, you're going to make it in this business, no doubt about it. But that part where you are learning from experience, you're learning from sending mail, is something that you cannot skip. Some people try, and the thing is, people try to go from A to C. A is learning, doing the modules. C is making money, doing deals, easy, simple deals, all that stuff. B is some of those mistakes, some of those adjustments. You really cannot skip it in anything. If you go to the gym and you're trying to go from being a skinny guy to being a jack dude, like, it's not like it's not A to C. It's not A to E if E is being jacked or whatever it is. Like, there's steps throughout it. You're going to make mistakes. You might get hurt in the gym. There are things along the road. There are going to be bumps along the road, and you can't go to the finish line from the start line. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the middle as you're learning this business, as you're doing deals, as you're doing stuff that you're going to learn without a doubt. And it's just something that cannot be avoided. And I think so many people get into, like, they are so scared of making mistakes that they never do anything. And, like, I really don't like seeing that. I hate to see it, because it's people with such high potential for this business. So much, like, this business could change their lives, and they never really do anything. They never get off the starting line because they're scared of what could happen. They're scared of losing $1,000. They're scared of not getting a deal. They're trying to make excuses, and they give themselves a way out, honestly. And that's what it is. But that first step to becoming a $100,000 land flipper is the learning phase. That's what I like to call it. The learning phase. You're educating, you're making mistakes. You're doing, like, at that phase, you are doing something. It doesn't have to be costly mistakes, like I said, but you are doing something, and then you're making adjustments too. That is all part of that learning phase. Education, which can be a wide variety, making mistakes, making adjustments. Okay. So that's the first step. The second step is kind of like getting into the groove. Like, you understand this business a little bit. You are getting into the flow. Maybe you've done 2 deals, maybe you've done 0 deals, but you're feeling confident. Like, you feel like you understand where this business can take you, and you've got repetition. Like, that's the biggest thing about this phase, is you have reps behind you. You've done due diligence on 20 properties. You've reviewed land on 50 whatever the number is, it doesn't matter. But this is the phase where those reps that you've gotten have really, like, you start to flow a little bit with your business, and you can feel it. Like, as you start to get some momentum, you really feel it. Like, you're out of that learning phase. Not saying you stop learning. And I don't want that to be, you're always in the learning phase. Don't ever leave that. Like, you need to constantly be learning, making adjustments. All that stuff is so important, but you're getting into the flow of this business. That a lot of times it doesn't take long. Some businesses that might take 5 years, honestly. With the land business, with the way we teach things, with the way you do things in this business, it can be 4 or 5 months. And what it really looks like I said, it looks like repetition for sure. You get reps and things so you feel more comfortable. You're more efficient in all aspects of your business. You're faster at scrubbing data. You're faster when you're sending mail. You're faster when you're doing due diligence. It's faster for you to say no to a deal. That is one of the things that new land flippers, new land investors struggle with the most when they're starting. And 6 months after they start, they're like, wow, I can't believe I wasted 2 days looking at this deal 6 months ago when I first started. But that's part of it. That's part of the learning phase. And once you have the ability to review deals and like, there's some deals you can throw into the trash 30 seconds after you look at the land. I saw one deal the other day. It was like a sliver of land for thousands of feet, like literally a slither of land, like 20 feet wide. And that was the entire parcel. It was along the road. And I just like, it was easy. Just, yeah, throw it out. It's not a difficult thing to do. With time, when you're first starting, you want to make deals happen. So I don't want you throwing deals out that maybe they could have worked. Maybe you could have done a deal there. And then just the speed of everything. So the speed of all this stuff creates so much more efficiency. You have some systems in your business. You're doing deals. Ideally, in this second step, you're doing deals. You're getting to a flow of things. You're learning from deals. You're still learning, like I said, but you're learning from deals. You're learning from other things. You're growing your business. Like your business is getting off the floor. You're not at $0 anymore. Like I said, we're going from zero to $100,000. This second step, we can't still be at $0. We got to be doing some deals. We got to be making $10, $20, $30,000 a month. So once we get to that, like I said, if you're doing $20, $30,000 a month, great. This second step to third step, there's a lot more gap, obviously, in between it, time gap, and then it's a big gap of money. Like second step, you might be doing 20, 30, maybe $50,000 a month. We need to get to 100,000. How do we get to 100,000? It's in the niches. And that phrase that everyone said, the riches are in the niches. It's true. It's true. Like niches can be so many different things in this business. It can be subdivisions in a specific area. It can be entitling things, but taking your business to the next step. And it's not going to be black and white, what Daniel and I teach in our program. Like it's going to be learning from your experience. Like, okay, you did deals in X county. You're like, this is a very subdivision friendly county. It's growing. I can see it from the deals I'm doing. Like this makes sense to tack on a more sniper approach and try to do more deals in this area. And then you get those margins up. So these first two steps, your margins might be $10, $20, $30,000 per deal. Once you get into the niches, once you start to do project-based things, once you start to do these other type of deals, your margins can be $100,000, $200,000. And that's why it's not that crazy doing $100,000 a month, because your margins increase. Once you get into niches, you start doing improvements. It's just there is no ceiling for the amount of money you can make on a single deal, and that's why making $100,000 a month really you might not be every month you make $100,000. You might do two deals a year and do $500,000 each deal. I don't know what it's going to look like exactly for you, but what I know is once you learn those niches, once you do all that, like the ceiling is so high. And that's what I urge members to do who have been in the community for 12 months, 8 months, whatever it is. Like start like thinking outside the box. You don't have to do everything. The way we teach things is like, okay, let's get you your first 5 deals. Let's make your first 6 figures, $100,000, whatever it is. And then start to not teach yourself necessarily, but learn from what you're doing. Learn from the areas you're doing deals in. And if you're flexible with that, you're willing to do those type of things. Like that's when your profitability in this business is going to take off without a doubt. But really, guys, it's not like these 3 steps might make it sound easier than it is. I don't know, but it is not something crazy. Like it's commitment. Like at the end of the day, these 3 steps are really just all about commitment, especially the first one, because the first one is the hardest one for people to get through because they're starting something completely new. Obviously, there's education, there's help along the way, but you need to commit to this business for it to work out without a doubt. And then getting into the other ones, like it's just growth from there, honestly. It's growth. You got to be willing to grow. You got to keep trying to teach yourself, keep trying to learn throughout the process. That's the biggest thing from going to 0 to 100,000. If you ever stop learning, like you're going to stop growing. Your business is going to stop growing if you don't try to keep improving your systems, your procedures, your operating procedures, all those things, hiring people, taking some things off your plate so you can grow a little more. Those things are all very, very important in growing to this size and beyond. Like I'm saying to $100,000, you can do $500,000 a month in this business, no problem. If you take on these steps, if you're willing to grow. Other than that, guys, if you have not already, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button below. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, share this episode with a friend who you think it can be helpful for. If someone's looking to get into land investing, share this episode. I think it'll be very, very valuable. Other than that, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
As always, thank you for joining. Please do us a huge favor and like and subscribe our YouTube channel and share this with a friend. It really means the world to Ron and I, but more importantly, it could help change the life of someone else. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next episode.